Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to my channel. Hope everyone is doing well, and I'm going to dive straight into this, and I just want to say thank you so much for your subscribing, and thank you for your likes, thank you for your comments as well. It's nice to get feedback as well, and I'm really excited that Elon Musk has done a partnership with India, and I think it's so wonderful, so well needed. And I take my hat off to India. Well done. Congratulations on getting the EV work being done there in India. And I think it's going to work really well for both parties, for example. Although I'm not, an expert at EV, for example, but it really will bring India into another level than what it is already. And I'm really super excited for India for that. And it's going to be the largest market by 2030, for example. So it's creating jobs, it's creating a lot of new infrastructure, innovation in India. So I'm super happy for you in India. So congratulations on, getting the contract with Elon Musk to do the cars and things like that. So today I'm going to be talking about Elon Musk, and love him or hate him, at the end of the day is a businessman, and what he's achieving is phenomenal, really. Although there's some things happening negativity wise, but I'm also trying to focus on the positive things that I'm seeing, and that's why I said tonight, congratulations to India for winning the partnership with Elon Musk, and also the Prime Minister Modi as well. Lovely gentleman, absolutely wonderful, peaceful man. So congratulations. So I'm going to talk today about really the things that we should look at in terms of Elon Musk, and also ourselves as business leaders. I mean, this is a hot topic. So, the first thing I thought, with regards to Prime Minister Modi, I was like, this is a lovely gentleman, and they obviously knew each other before Donald Trump. He mentioned that he knew him before when he was like a vice prime minister or something like that. So Elon Musk and the relationship between India, for example, absolutely brilliant that they've got this wonderful contract. It's going to help. And also the cost is going to be a lot more less than what it would be for Elon Musk to do it perhaps in America, because sales have gone down, obviously, and he's there to make sure that he's making a profit on things, because he's a businessman at the end of the day. So welcome everyone to tonight's session, and my name is Christine Crowell, and I am going to be diving in tonight about one of the hottest topics in business today, and also I'm going to talk about the Elon Musk global positioning with government leaders. Now, Elon Musk is able to position himself with the top leaders of the world, really. And I think this is something that we've got to look at, this strategy. Whether we love him or hate him, we've got to look at his strategy as a business person. This is what I'm referring to today. As a business person, look at what he is doing. Okay, so I'm going to be talking to you about how is going in and exploring different strategies and moves. Like if something's not working for him, straight away he pivots and changes. He doesn't stay stuck. For example, he'll pivot and think, right, okay, where can I provide this service that's going to be more valuable, more profitable for my company, for example. He doesn't work from the heart. We all know that. He works from the brain. I work from the heart. That's my problem. But he's working from the brain, for example, financial brain, for example. He's, at the end of the day, I can't fault him for his business sense because it is absolutely phenomenal. And he's the world's richest man, and he's done that in a number of years. But he hasn't, it wasn't like a get rich quick scheme type of thing. He did it over the years. He worked really hard from what I researched on it, blood, sweat and tears, for example. And, he nearly lost it all, didn't he? He nearly lost it all. He was just one step away from losing it all. So he's gone through that. So this is probably why it's so fierce and, with business. I'm referring to business here. I'm not referring to all the other serious issues that's going on, and I do take that in. But at the same time, I'm trying to focus on the business side of things, of what he's doing, for example. So it looks like that is signaling to look into secure major contracts abroad as well. So if you are curious about one of the world's top innovators is doing his business, for example, and is actually looking at being global. Now, although he probably was global, but it's becoming more to our eyes and more to what he's doing. But the international side of it, it could have been seen as it was international politics. However, this, obviously I don't know because I'm not any expert at this. I'm just looking at what I'm seeing, for example. But I think it made really good sense for him to look at Tesla EVs being done in India because the price was the right price, and also it's going to create jobs as well, in terms of technical staff, customer service. Import duties were a lot less as well, so it made good business sense to do that. We're seeing around the world where there's lots of tariffs being put on countries, for example, and it is making things go up a lot. So with Elon Musk, it's not just about him being a tech entrepreneur. He's also a master of strategy and positioning. So we've seen him engage with leaders from various countries around the world. And today I'm going to be talking about some of his strategies we need to be looking at using, for example, and learning these strategies that's made him be able to maneuver in such a way that he gets the results that he sets out to do, for example. So first of all, let's look at the big picture here. Global positioning, Elon Musk, right? Has the knack of blending technology, innovation, and he makes bold business moves that no one usually does. So recently he's been seen with, himself, and also there's various government leaders around the world. So this isn't just about PR, it's about positioning himself and his companies for huge opportunities, including government contracts as well. Because we can all have contracts around the world. It doesn't stop us just because we're in our location of where we are, doesn't stop us from applying for contracts in that country, for example. We just got to comply with that country's laws, for example. So some strategic partnerships that Elon Musk is doing is known for forming those strategic partnership, and it gives his company a competitive edge by engaging with government leaders. He's not only expanding his influence, but also setting the stage for potential contracts in emerging markets. So this could be an example is, let's zoom in on India, for example, and congratulations to India again for winning and, having the Tesla cars built in India, because that's going to create jobs, it's going to create new positions, it's going to be create better profit for Elon Musk, as well as people will receive, good wages, for example. So I'm super happy for India for that. So recently there was Musk companies have been exploring opportunities there. And whether it's, electric vehicles, EVs, or satellite technology, for example, India represents a massive market. India is coming up strong, I believe now. I think this is going to make them even more stronger as well. So Musk positioning himself to win lucrative contracts, lucrative business deals, for example. This is a sign, right, that he's able to point in the right direction. So this is an opportunity for India, but it's also an opportunity for Elon Musk as well. So there is, for example, with Musk, he has really done a calculated risk to secure long-term benefits. So he wants a long-term relationship with India as well. And he's building relationships around the world like this. And this is how he builds and gets stronger and stronger. And let's face it, it must be difficult to be the world's richest man in the world, because he's probably frightened that someone else could, get in front of him. So I just drink my tea. So like with, because before it was Jeff Bezos that was in front, and then suddenly, boom, Elon Musk jumped ahead, for example. So there must be this competitive edge in him to have to keep going and going and going and growing and growing and just not stopping. I mean, does he sleep? I don't know. Probably sleeps for about 2 hours, 4 hours a night. I would love to know if anyone knows how long he does actually sleep for, because, he's making sure that he's doing these deals. And what I think is nice is that he brings his family members as well, so they get to see and experience the world from a business point of view as well, and meeting these leaders. So the signs really are of a good sign with India, for example. So he did take a calculated risk to secure the long-term benefit, and that's what he's done. He's been aligning with the government leaders, but Donald Trump said that, not Donald Trump, Prime Minister Modi said that he knew Elon Musk before Donald Trump. So he knew him before he was even the Prime Minister or something, that they met before. So there shouldn't be a conflict of interest there, for example. But for Musk, for example, for him, he must have had this planned for some time, not just since, this year. I believe this must have been planned for some time. So, but also is aware of the help that's going to be needed, and also to overcome the regulatory hurdles here. So what can we think of in terms of the market potential? So let's look at India in detail. So India is the forefront of the global economic growth, and its government is keen on focusing on innovation and technology. So this makes it really fertile ground for companies like Tesla, for example, and SpaceX to secure major contracts, for example. So look at the renewable energy and the EVs, for example. So one area where Musk is looking at is renewable energy, as we all know, and that's the electronic vehicles. With India pushing towards sustainable energy and reducing carbon emissions, there's a huge market opportunity there, for example. So then another opportunity could be satellite communications. As India expands its digital infrastructure, collaborations in satellite tech could also be on the horizon, for example. Then there's the regulatory and the political benefits. So let's look at this by looking at this government official, right? Musk could help with streamlining the regulations and pave the way for a smoother entry into the market. So he must have done some sort of research of some sort before Prime Minister Modi and Elon Musk met. There must have been some sort of, regulation guidance and some advice, lawyer-wise, etc., in order for this to happen as it has done a couple of days ago, for example. So we've seen similar things like this before, in order to, where companies have gone to a certain country to produce their products because it's cheaper and it brings that country up further, makes them stronger and grows a lot more quicker than what it normally would have done, for example. And like I said, this is an amazing opportunity, and I'm so happy for India to be able to do this, and and something that's going to create lots of jobs is going to be a positive, isn't it? So what do you think about the relationship in terms of the EV, the market and the growth that this can help with India to, by 2030, it's going to be the largest EV market, which is amazing. I'd love to hear your thoughts about that as well. So do you think that it's a great opportunity to grow even further? Do you think that India is going to be the number one place for EVs in the world? Because this looks like that this is what's going to happen, for example. What do you think? So I'd love to hear your comments here, because I've looked and I've listened to, the conversations with the leader of India, for example, and the conversations with Elon Musk, for example. But let's look at the way that Elon Musk is making these deals. Business owners, we got to look at this and think, wow, he's achieved this and now he's achieved this. So now we need to look at how he's doing these deals, for example. He's building relationships. It's like the business leaders or the high net individuals is like his, for example, his community. And he's working and building on those communities that's going to enable him to get work, for example. And this is what I say to you business owners, is to look at the relationships that you want to create in order for you to build work for your organization. Because at the end of the day, we cannot just sit and expect a phone to ring. We've got to get out there and we need to meet the organizations. And I've mentioned quite a few times how community is key for building strong relationships and also to get work for you and the community as well. I'd love to know what your comments are, for example, because this is something that is so powerful. I mean, you can even, for example, you can see that there's such growth that's going to happen here that it is going to be phenomenal. So, like I said, this integration, it leverages, and there is an article out about this as well. And I'll put the link here in the chat, for example. So the article, it talks about the arrangement, for example, and it talks about the international business leaders and the political figures often have overlapping networks. So they have interactions with each other, for example. It's common, and it's in the realm of international business and government contracting. So let's look at what the positives are here, for example. So I'll just go into this for a moment. So building a high net worth community for contracts is key here. You've got to really start by engaging with industry leaders, influencers. I mentioned this earlier in the video when I talked about how to approach organizations. I've got the community video. But what action steps are you taking right now, for example, in your business to build strong relationships like Elon Musk's strategy that he's using? Are you going to start adapting this? Because it's not about that you go for the higher contract straight away. It's about you looking at starting off smaller, going into your community, seeing what is needed. It's so important. My father, Marcus, taught me about community when I was a very young girl. He taught me about going in, meeting community. He used to say whenever we'd go somewhere, don't just sit there and be quiet in the corner. Go and introduce yourself and talk to people. So you become one in a room, for example. And I believe that this is what Elon Musk is doing. Is not just, when he goes in a room, he's not just sitting quietly. And I believe he's going straight for what he needs to discuss and just getting on with business in that way. And we need to start looking at his methodology for getting contracts. Whether we like it or not, he's getting these contracts, and these contracts are like 13 billion, for example, from the government. 13 billion. And he did that in a short space of time. I would say probably 5 years, for example. So he's managed to really push forward with this. But he's also used AI, technology, for example, and that has probably boosted things a lot more faster than what it would have taken if it was done ordinarily. You know, the algorithms, the AI, the different products and services that he provides is unique. not many people can do that. The things that, how the engine works, and it works from water. And I've looked at, I've seen them on his videos, for example, i.e. the motorhome. Things like that, where it can drive for hours, self-drive for hours, and you don't have to put petrol in it. It just runs from the solar panels. How amazing is that? How initiative is that? But what I'm saying to you is that, business leaders, to just think out of the box and think how you can look at the Musk strategy, because it is something that is done really well, no matter what we're thinking of him right now. But what he can do is amazing, because at the end of the day, it's his dream and it's what he wants to do, for example. But what I want to do is, I'm saying this to you to encourage you to look at what contracts that you can apply for example, and see what is eligible for you to currently apply for right now. And to, whether it's a contract that's $100,000 a year, whether it's a contract that's $1 million, whether it's a contract that's 5 million, look at them and start applying for them, because you will be able to get it if you are showing evidence that you're able to deliver, for example. And I think that's so important, that we don't think, oh, we can't apply for those. Give it a go. You could even start with the very basics, uniforms, like I said, gloves, aprons, boots, work gear, work clothes. There's lots of things besides workforce that you can provide. Equipment, hospital equipment. There's so many things that you can provide right now that will really take you to the next level, for example. And I just want to share this with you. So this is according to Reuters magazine. Well, Reuters article, should I say. That Tesla steps up. India is hiring after Musk and Modi meet. They're fast-tracking the market entry plan. So they really are pushing forward with, it's happened, for example. So this is what I'm reading today. For example, that Elon Musk Tesla is looking to hire senior staff in India. Job advertisements are being posted on LinkedIn, etc., and signaling progress in the electric vehicle market. And it plans to enter the world the world third biggest auto market. So the postings come less than a week after Musk's meeting with the Indian Prime Minister Modi in Washington. So Tesla did not immediately respond to Reuters' request to comment, but obviously this is what's happening. So Tesla has for years planned an India market entry, even setting up a local manufacturers. Some executives were hired around 2022 through some top level people. Okay, so think about this. So this has been something which was planned for a number of years and not just now. And I just wanted to mention that so that we don't think, oh, because of Donald Trump, that they met each other. Modi said that he knew him before, and they met when he was like a vice prime minister, for example. But look at this, we got to give congratulations to India on this, because they've been able to get this massive deal, which will really help the economy in India, as well as the cars can be sold for cheaper as well. So that's going to make more business sense for Elon Musk as well. And that's why I said about looking at the strategies as a business owner, and looking at what his strategies are when he's dealing with business. For example, is looking at getting the best deal. And if a man can get 13 billion worth of contracts from the government, for example, and private, isn't that amazing? That is a big achievement for anybody to have achieved. Whether we like it or not, it's a big achievement. And, this was 5 years. But something, even though 5 years, it started 5 years ago, the contracts did, what was the work that needed to be done before the 5 years? You see, a lot of people think that when you get a contract, it just comes instant. Look how many times he's probably applied for things and we don't know. He didn't get it. And then he tried again. And he tried again. Because sometimes you can get a government contract and you apply and it's like, yes, you got it. And then next minute, oh, it's not starting. We're going to have to delay it. We don't have the funds. We have to delay it. And that's how maybe it went for Elon Musk. I don't know. Maybe he was lucky that he applied and he got it the first time round. I would love to know whether that was the case, or whether he had to do this on multiple occasions. Because look, the Prime Minister of India, Modi, for example, this was going on from 2022, from what I read. So this didn't, this is like 3 years later, this deal has happened. So, I think every business owner needs to think when they're applying for a contract, sometimes it doesn't happen straight away. So I'm just drinking my tea. It can happen, a year later, where it's like, oh, okay, we're ready now. We need to start pulling on the people that said that they can do this contract and we've given this contract to. Or it could be that, it's starting and then something blocks something and then it's like a halt. And then you have to wait for it to start again, because it's just how it is. But imagine, in order to get contracts worth of 13 billion, I've never heard of someone getting that many contracts amounting to that amount. I don't even know what Richard Branson's contracts are worth, for example, and I will look that up. But what we need to do, business owners, care providers, for example, need to look at what contracts you can apply for, because Elon Musk started from somewhere. He didn't just suddenly appear at straight away 13 billion. It took years, blood, sweat and tears, I can imagine, and also nearly losing, his business, for example. So that could be why he's so aggressive with all of these contracts, because of what he's been through before. Okay, so think about it. I want you to have a list of contracts that you've gone on sites to look at. If you're in America, check out the Department of State website. The link is in the previous video that I did. I will put the link here as well. Either this side or that side, the video will be there, for example. And then look at the Department of State contracts that are available that you can apply for, because some of them are small, some of them are medium, some of them are large. Start somewhere, especially some of you that may have lost your positions, your jobs, for example. There's other platforms besides the Department of, the State Department, for example, for contracts. sam.gov, there's UK, there's plenty of contracts wherever you are around the world. But don't think that these contracts will come quickly. But sometimes they do come quickly. But then there's a process that they have to go through. They've got to get all the paperwork ready. They've got to do the terms. They've got to do the contracts. All of that has got to be given to the legal team. Then the legal team have to put together this contract for you to sign. And there could be something in there that's not right, that needs changing. Then that can delay it before you even get to sign the contract. Sometimes you get to sign the contract and then the start date is, possibly 3 months later or something like that. So just think about the partnerships that you can create in order for you to get contracts. And this is what's leading us back to today's live, is for you to see what contracts that you can get and what partnerships that you need to make in order to win a contract, in order to work with an organization. Start off small. Remember I said about the previous videos about community, building community, which is what Elon Musk has done, is built community, but he's built it with high net worth governmental leaders, those that have got the bigger contracts. He's gone for the high value contracts. That's what's made him a billionaire, for example. 13 billion and counting probably worth of contracts, because he's gone for high level ones because of what he offers. He's got the technical teams in as well, because he knows what he wants, but he's got the technical team in to do it as well. And remember, there's AI that is very familiar with. So of course is going to be the master at that, for example. And then there's also the internet, for example. So that's one of his technology, is a technology engineering type of person, and he knows his stuff. So the contracts that he's applied for relates to that. And if you think about what your skills are, then you apply for contracts that relate to your skill. That is the thing. But we've also got to make sure that the policies that we adhere to match what it is that we're doing. We don't want any conflict of interest. We don't want to have, for example, if you was to apply for a contract and your cousin worked in a government building and they had an idea that this contract was coming up and you got to hear about it beforehand, that is an unfair advantage. That is a conflict of interest. And we got to make sure that we steer away from this, because otherwise people can pull you up on it. Someone will find something out and then they'll be like, oh, this is a conflict of interest. So you don't want to get into that type of scenario. So that's why I'm going so hard about the types of contracts and the level of contracts, and also the policies around the contracts that we're applying for. That is so important that we adhere to them as well. So tomorrow I'm going to be going through some more contracts training, but also policy. policy is key, because at the end of the day, if we don't follow the policies, then it can come back to bite us, and we don't want that. So just think about your partnerships. Think about that you're not, using any influence that's going to make you stronger than someone else. For example, you want to get a contract on merit. You want to get it on that you can do that job effectively, for example. So I hope that was helpful to you. And I just wanted to say congratulations as well to India for winning the EV market with Elon Musk. And I'm sure that it's going to be a wonderful jobs for the economy as well. So I'm very happy for you, India. So well done. So thank you, everyone. That's it for me today. And join me tomorrow. I'm going to be going live tomorrow, 7 p.m. UK time, but also 2 p.m. American time. I am going to start going later, for example, like 7 p.m., 9 p.m. American time as well, because I want to be able to have some variation in my times as well. So do stay tuned for the next live training and discussion. This basically was a discussion today, but also it's a food for thought, because obviously, it's always good to look into things and to see what the deal is, and that's why I'm here tonight talking to you about this deal that happened between Elon Musk and the Indian Prime Minister Modi, and also the partnership that was formed, which is going to help India a great deal. So thank you so much, everyone, and I appreciate you, and thank you for your subscriptions, subscribing to the channel. And if you liked the channel, then hit the notification bell so that you can get notifications when I'm going live. And let's keep pushing forward with these contracts, because if Elon Musk can do it, you can do it. You just got to put that effort in. You've got to put that effort in. And yes, some days it's going to be hard. Some days it's going to be very, very, very hard. But remember, the eagle mentality will get you far. All right. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. And I look forward to speaking with you tomorrow about some more news. And I've got some more news for you tomorrow. And I want to go further about a discussion that was put in the chat yesterday, which I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss out on that, because I've got some really amazing information as well, because I really want to show you the differences between conflict of interest, undue influence, when you're doing contracts, when you're looking to source contracts, and when you've been awarded a contract. I want you to be able to keep that contract as a business owner, and I want you to be aware of the challenges that people face. And this is what I'm going to be going through over the next couple of days, because it is a challenge, and you don't want to have to be fighting over something which you could have prevented. All right, so thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and I will speak with you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you.